I thought it was a pretty even game in the first half. I thought in the second half we were able to step up the tempo a little bit. We really talked about trying to get our left back, Annie Baba forward as well as DeAndre, which we did. We had that early chance off the header, with Pineda off his cross. And Oba's speed and quickness coming in, I think, helped us as well up front, so put more pressure on their backs. We were talking about playing a little more direct at times, which we did, and just making sure we don't get caught on the counter. But I thought the second half for us, it was pretty much our game. They had a couple of times where they countered or chances and looked close, but I thought Stefan was solid whenever those things got presented. And Ricketts, if Stefan was the man of the match on Wednesday, Ricketts was probably maybe the man of the match for them today, because he came up with some big saves where he got his body in front of things, and things seemed to hit him and block him and so forth. So, very happy with how our team played. Actually, a little bit surprised that we got as many minutes out of Clint as we did. That was over and beyond the Call of Duty, but great to have those guys back. Great to get a win at home.
The game seemed to turn when Oba came in. Is that overly simplifying?
Maybe overly simplifying, because we had already, before Oba came in, we'd already had that one good chance and so forth. But certainly he contributed significantly to our game.
What happened with status with Brad and maybe with Leo as well?
Leo just felt not where he re-pulled it, just felt a little bit of a tweak in his hamstring again, so we decided to back off with him. And Brad had taken a knock in the knee on the game on Wednesday, and it just didn't improve. So, he feels much better today, but not where he could have played today. So hopefully, hopefully he'll be okay by the time we play Tottenham, for sure, by the time we play LA.
What do you expect to get out of it?
I was looking to get 70, maybe 65, 70. One of the thought process for me was that, I wanted to get Oba onto the field. It's probably a little earlier than I normally sub. I wanted to get Oba on the field because him and Clint have such a good understanding together. So I figured if they could, get some minutes, at least 15, 20 minutes together, and then, it kept going. So we're able to keep them on there, and, worked out all right.
I have to imagine this week was pretty satisfying for you.
We're happy. We're happy. Anytime, we can get 2 wins against Portland in a week, we advance in the Open Cup. We're certainly happy about that. But I'm just happy with the way our team responded to the challenges of the week. Difficult game on Wednesday, 120 minutes, and they came up to that challenge, and then they responded again with the win at home. We obviously Vancouver, was last weekend, and we started that off. We had to come back from that as well. But I think psychologically we dealt well with that. We got focused, we got forward, and and we were able to continue to have that good spirit of a team that has helped us all season.
What was the discussion at halftime? Because it looked like you were pushing your backs.
Well, at halftime, what we talked about is that there were times where we could play more direct, that we could get the ball forward a little more, that we felt we could play behind Harrington and behind Filifano a little bit and get into those channels. And we also wanted to get our backs forward a little bit more so that we tied up their wingers a little bit more, having to defend. And as you saw, they took Valeri out, maybe because, he ended up having to play a little more defense than they expected, especially with Jalil pushing forward.
So Clayton Oba, how did that look? You wanted them to mesh together. Did it take a lot of time, or just like 2
No, they already had practice on Friday. It was already like, wow. These guys, they just have a good understanding. There were a couple of combinations that didn't quite come off, that we'll get close to again. But, I thought the whole, Marco Papa as well into that group and his skill set. I thought we had a number of good looks. You look at the looks that Lamar Nagel had, that Papa had. Clint, their Oba were close a couple of times, just missed by a fraction. No, I think we did the right thing by giving Clint that week off and letting him get away with his family and spend some time. You look around the league, and obviously, some guys whose teams maybe are struggling a little bit more. Those guys got right into the mix of it because they want to be good teammates. But you look at the situation with Michael Bradley, who jumped right into it with Toronto, and now he missed the last game, and now they're trying to give him some time off. So I think we made the right decision by giving Clint time off. DeAndre had a few days off as well, and he's going to get some time off after the Tottenham game. So he's going to get some days as well, because I think you need to get rid of that. So Clint felt very refreshed when he came back to us emotionally, and DeAndre's a young kid; he doesn't know how to feel yet.
Papa's numbers don't necessarily jump off the page, but he seems like he's had a productive season anyway, and he gets the goal tonight. Is that, you take any extra satisfaction in seeing him actually get on the scoreboard?
Yeah, no, I'm very happy when I see Marco play well, and I think he's continuing to grow, with this team, and he's growing as a player. I think see him taking more responsibility on his shoulders at key moments. We talked about maybe that first shot he had. If he hits it first time, he catches Ricketts moving rather than trapping the ball. But I see his game continuing to grow and his game continuing to develop. And the other thing he's given us, if you remember from early in the season, there's some good, solid defensive work that he's given us on the flank as well. And that was never considered a trademark of Marco or something that he did. And still, he's on the field because he helps our attack. He's not on the field because we want him to be a great, left-sided defender. But he's got to do some of that work, and he's really accepted that, and he's grown as a player, and he's found a really good mix, and he knows how to find those pockets of space, which are really important.
It seems like he kind of defends almost with his, with quick feet, maybe even poking at balls. Is that maybe a style of defense that you're not used to seeing?
No, it's people need to defend with what their talent is and what they can do well. And Marco's first off, he's faster than people think he is. Nobody says, "Oh, Marco Papa fast," but you watch him on some of the runs. He's got good pace, and he's got good instinct. So he's got that thing where he can tip balls away, and he's willing to use his body at times. So that's the way he needs to defend. And that makes him an effective defender. I mean, he's not going to defend like Zach Scott, and I don't expect him to.
With only a friendly over the next 2 weeks, I guess, how do you plan to use this part of the month?
Well, we want to stay in rhythm, obviously, because we had the break from the World Cup, even though we had a couple of Open Cup games, spliced in there. But certainly we want to stay in rhythm, and we want to continue to get people healthy. We got Dylan Remick back on the field, so we're hoping, over these next 2 weeks that we'll, have Leo Gonzalez to choose from again. That Brad Evans will be back into the fold. That Dylan Remick will be 100% healthy. That Jimmy Traore will be 100% back. All that is going to make us stronger for the stretch run.
Sigi, you guys are 10 points clear of Salt Lake right now. Does that mean anything at this point?
I don't even look. I just look at our own points and just want us to continue to get points. I'm happy that we've been really solid at home, because at the start of the season, and we struggled a bit at home. And since then, we've been really solid at home, and we keep just talking about getting the points. And one day, hopefully, we'll look up at the standings and say, hey, we've qualified for the playoffs, or we've qualified for this. But, right now it's just about, continuing to accumulate points, play well, happy to get a clean sheet today as well, get a shutout. I know a lot of people, this is my last diatribe, but I know a lot of people, have said, oh, the defense. When you look at our numbers now, when you look at our goals given up now, I think there's only 3 or 4 teams in the league that have a better goals against average than we do. So now all of a sudden the defense doesn't look as bad, where we had taken some goals and we had scored some goals, but it's also our style of play. But we're also figuring out how to get those zeros at the other end of the field.
Is that the difference between this one and the last one when you had 4 against Portland? Just figuring out how to play together defensively?
But I think we also did a better job offensively. I think we let them control bigger segments of the game down in Portland there. And today was more, like I said, an even first half, and then I thought in the second half we were a lot more effective.
Has the defense legitimately gotten better?
Yeah, because all of us are defending better. It's not just the defenders on the field. It's also the midfield and the understanding. I thought Ozzie and Gonzalo Pineda did a great job of finding Nagby and Valeri, who they were trying to push into that hole behind them. And that's something that we always haven't done always as well as we needed to. And today they were excellent at it.
Between this afternoon and this evening, was this kind of like
I'm very happy. I'm very, very happy. It was a great day.
Ziggy, the team remains unbeaten in full stadium games. What is it about the crowd that kind of lifts the team up?
You know, our guys enjoy playing here. You know, I mean, you know, talk to Chad Marshall, who, you know, this is his first year here, and just the excitement that he still feels when he steps on the field. So our crowd's fantastic. We enjoy playing here, and when they see all those people there, I think that it pushes them on. You know, they don't want to disappoint those people. And as an athlete, then you rise above yourself a little bit. I mean, it helps push the opponents sometimes because they get excited. But you know, I think our team's really taking it to heart that hey, when those people come, we want them keep coming, having them keep coming back, and we're going to put on our best performance and you know play with a lot of heart and desire.